One of the most delicious forms of science is baking, since something as small as making a cookie involves many chemical reactions, only possible due to the ingredients we put in. In this video, we'll go over what some of the common baking ingredients actually do, and explore what is happening at a molecular level. Starting with the basis of most baked goods, the flour provides the structure of the product. Flour contains a protein called gluten, which is found in most wheat products, and it forms disulfide bonds with each other when exposed to liquid, such as water and milk. Those bonds form the gluten into a stretchy web, which links the baked product together. Adding more flour leads to a chewier product, while adding less leads to a fluffier product. Next, we have butter, which is known as shortening, along with lard and coconut oil. They can coat and restrict bonding between gluten, therefore shortening them. With less gluten connecting, the product becomes less chewy, which is why adding more shortening makes the product more tender. Shortening also provides moisture, which is why a lot of recipes use unsalted butter, as it contains more moisture than salted ones. Next, we have sugar, which doesn't just make the product sweeter. Sugar is great at attracting water, making a product more tender and chewable, while also making sure not too much gluten gets activated. Furthermore, as sugar is mixed with butter, the sugar grains generate enough friction to create air bubbles when rubbed against shortening, which makes the product more tender also. Next, we have eggs, which are known as emulsifiers. Their job is to mix substances that normally don't combine, such as oil and water, for example. Eggs are also big sacs of water and protein, which, as mentioned earlier with flour, binds things together. Furthermore, when eggs are beaten, more air bubbles will be introduced into the yolk. We will explore why air bubbles are important later. Next, we have milk, which contains protein, fat, and sugar. As mentioned before, protein holds things together, while fat and sugar make the product more tender by making sure not too much gluten is activated. The milk does all of those jobs, and while also providing the liquid to the batter, activating the gluten. Next, we have salt, which isn't just for flavor. Salt enhances the strength of gluten, and in the case of yeast breads, salt absorbs the moisture to make sure that the yeast isn't rising the bread too quickly, which stabilizes the whole process of making bread. Lastly, we have baking soda and baking powder, known as leavening agents, which are anything that makes dough rise. Baking soda contains sodium bicarbonate, which is basic, so it needs heat and something acidic, such as brown sugar and buttermilk, to activate. Once activated, the sodium bicarbonate introduces carbon dioxide into the air bubbles created by butter, sugar, and eggs. Baking powder, which contains sodium bicarbonate as well, is a lot weaker than baking soda, but it also contains cream of tartar, an acid, meaning that it only needs heat to activate. This means that baking powder is usually used in recipes that don't contain acidic ingredients. But of course, some recipes need both if not enough acidic ingredients are needed. Now, as we put the batter into the oven, the heat causes the moisture provided by milk and butter to evaporate, forming steam. The steam and the CO2 trapped in the air bubbles now begins to rise in the heat, causing the entire product to rise as the gases push against the dough. Of course, if not enough gluten was added, the dough will burst and leave a flat cake. When the moisture boils away, we are left with a drier and crunchy product. And there we have it. The most common ingredients used in baking are flour, butter, sugar, eggs, milk, salt, baking soda, and baking powder. On a molecular level, they supply gluten for structure, restrict gluten for tenderness, attract water and create air bubbles, combine substances that usually don't combine, hold things together while providing liquid, enhance gluten, and add CO2 into air bubbles to make dough rise. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for watching, and stay hydrated!